Okay, coming up next, we have, again, Dove Light. And I believe she has a co-pilot with her. I don't know anything about her. Her name is Lady Cologne. Maybe she'll say a couple of words about herself. And so Vicky, when you pin Dove Light to the stage, put Lady Cologne up there with her. It takes two. And then put Rachel in her room number 23 so that she can speak to Amber and exchange information. Okay, and let me do an introduction of our lovely lady here. Okay, so letting you guys know right now in room number 2, we have Jen Post doing a DNA light language activation to the stars and back. She's pretty awesome. And right now in this room, her name is Fatima Teskyak. She is a starseed light being, angelic oracle, soul tarot reader, ancestral energy and shamanic healing practitioner. She works with divine messages and she's a songstress, and she's from Peru with Andino, Amazonian ancestry. She's been exploring, learning, and healing her path through different shamanic practices, energy healing modalities, and spirit contact to reconnect with our innate energy of love and compassion. Since she was a little child, she loves to listen and exchange dreams as a community way to find clarity. She keeps expanding and walking the medicine path by holding sacred space to empower us to remember our divine connection. She's a keen intuitive soul reader, cacao ceremony facilitator, divine messenger songstress, Vogel crystal healer. I never said this word before. You got to help me. Hawaii Kario. I don't know what that is.
Haiwarikwi. It's traditional ways to make offerings to the spirits of the land and to Mother Earth.
Not in my vocabulary. Never seen that word before. So sorry about that. I messed that up. So she works with offerings and ancestral healing work. And you can find her. Her website is ladovelight.com. ladovelight.com. And I don't know anything about your friend. So Lady Cologne, if you want to give us a minute and tell us a little bit about yourself before you guys get into your presentation and your ceremony.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. And hi, everyone. My name is Reverend Lady Cologne, and also I'm Lady of Insights. And I, similarly to Reverend Dove Light, I also have Amazonian Andino as well as Afro-Taino bloodline. And I am from the land of Lenape, also known as New York. And my background includes, I am an insights professional, deriving esoteric, quantitative, and qualitative data into actionable information that transform businesses and people's lives. I also am a reverend and have been a hospital chaplain in critical care and the cardiac units. So I have counseled hundreds of patients and their loved ones during times of need. Also, my background includes, I am a trained medicine way / shamaness. I like to call it shamaness. My background also includes Reiki, as well as angelic medium, as well as also a Mesa carrier in the Andean tradition, as well as also trained cacao ceremonialist, and I call myself an intuitive herbalist, deriving from both Western as well as also from the Central American usage of herbs. And here I am. So thank you, and glad to be here. And thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here at this moment. We're gonna use this graciousness. Thank you to our hostess to speak about our cacao, because it's a sacred medicine of the heart, and it's a sacred medicine from the spirit. We'll use these 25 minutes to learn a little bit more about cacao. But from 8 p.m. to 9, we're gonna be in the playroom number 1, where we're gonna be actually do a full cacao ceremony, which involve ancestral healing, because according to the ancient Mayan tradition, the moon calendar today is gonna be Tukeme, which talks about ancestrals and the people who pass away in ending cycles. But we'll go more deeper when we go in playroom number 1 from 8 to 9. I'm going to open the space with a sound and song before we start talking about cacao, to ask permission to the spirits and the guardians of this medicine, as well as the ancestors of this land, the land where you are sitting, and everybody around us for our highest good.
Fuego, fuego sagrado, fuego sagrado, vives en mí. Agua, agua sagrada, agua sagrada, fluyes en mí. Vientos, vientos sagrados, vientos sagrados, fluyen en mí. Madre, madre tierra, madre tierra, estoy aquí. Ancestros, to the ancestors of the north or the south, of the east and the west, to the rainbow tribe, our gratitude, our love, our respect. We humbly come, your children, to give gratitude for our life, to give gratitude for who we were, for who we are, and who will become. This song is not only a blessing of permission and gratitude, but it's also a transmission to remember that we are part of fire, we are part of earth, we're part of water, we're part of air. We carry them together. And it's in our heart, the power of that love that unites us all. So be it, so it is. The space is open. I pass it to our sister Letty. Thank you so much, to speak a little bit of cacao. Letty, unmute, please. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So first of all, I just wanted to say that the topic of cacao is very wide and diverse, and it could take hours. So we're trying to just give you the very high level Cliff Note version of what you need to know about cacao, why it's important, as well as also understand the differences between cacao, cocoa, cocoa and chocolate, and ceremonial cacao. So, and also the main takeaway here is when you leave this room, you understand, all right, what are the differences? Also, not only in regards to the name, because it's so similar, they all come from the same seed. But what differs is the processing of it. And a biggest takeaway from you, for everyone here, is, all right, knowing not only what is cacao, cocoa, and chocolate, but also how you could leverage it in your life. as well, from not only from a health aspect, but also from a spiritual aspect to help elevate and transform you. And that will end with our sister Dove Light, who will be talking about ceremonial uses of cacao. So here's a little bit about ourselves, which we already discussed on our bios. And first of all, when we talk about cacao, the official botanical name is Theobroma cacao, and it comes from the Malvaceae family. The Malvaceae family is a very important one because it has given us crops that have not only fed us, but kept us warm, and also was a major financial driver. So from the Malvaceae family, it comes cotton as well as cacao. What you're seeing here is, as you see, cacao comes from a tree, from an evergreen tree, and these trees only grow around the equator, and it has to be a certain type of environment, not only from the sun, but also in regards to the whole environment and the proper pH for this evergreen to grow. Like if I wanted to grow it in front of my windowsill in New York, it's not gonna happen because it's not the right environment. It's not the right factors, not only one, but multiple factors in order for cacao to grow. And it takes many, many years of between as little as 2 to as many as 10 years for the cacao pod to actually, for the tree to grow and the cacao pods to grow. And it has to be the right environment, not only from moisture, but also with the chemicals. And that's why when it's grown along with other type of crops that are symbiotic to each other, like with coffee. So it grows in the same farm with coffee or avocado. So mentioned earlier that it comes from the Malvaceae family, and the name is Theobroma cacao. Theo actually means God, and there is a chemical active ingredient in cacao called theobromine, and there are countless scientific evidence-based studies. And here I just highlighted 3 of them that comes from different diverse medical journals that detail the evidence that cacao is not only has one of the strongest profiles in regards to nutrients, antioxidants, as well as other beneficial chemicals for your life, but also from a blood aspect. It is, according to research, it has found that it has the highest level of albumin, of natural plant-based albumin and heme. And these are the building blocks for blood. Believe it or not, when you consume cacao, you're actually consuming natural source of iron, and it has more iron than kale or spinach or other heavy greens that have iron. Also, if it was found by scientists that it has almost the highest level of antioxidant and can't be compared to other crops. And these antioxidants and riboflavins, they all help with not only with the oxidation, to delay the oxidation process of your cells, the denaturation, most importantly, it helps increase the blood flow into your body. And therefore, by increasing the blood flow, it also decreases stagnation, decreases chances of cardiovascular conditions when we look from a public health aspect. And when we think of a risk factor of having high blood pressure, also is considered a risk factor for diabetes. So think of this one as a wonder food. And the lady on the left is esteemed professor ethnobotanist, Dr. Rocia Alarcon, who in her cacao farm in the Amazonian jungles, where we learned more about cacao, not only from a medical standpoint, but also from a spiritual standpoint and how it relates to the sacred mother, because it is Pachamama Gaia that gave us this superfood because we are the children of her land. And that's why if you're working with the divine feminine, cacao is very, very important with connecting with your femininity and with sacred feminine. And here, just at a very high level, the nutritional aspect of cacao is extremely much more than a multivitamin, and also has protein as well as fiber. Do keep in mind that this fiber is reduced when the cacao bean has been processed in an extremely high heat, removed the fiber, removed all the good fat, and other chemicals are added to make chocolate. So at its core, at its raw form, look at the protein. It has more protein than certain protein bars. Look at the carbohydrate. It's very low carbohydrate aspect, and the total fats, this is all unsaturated fats. And the fiber, it has as much fiber as some grains. And here, it's a representation of what is the difference between cocoa and cacao. Remember that cacao is the unprocessed. It's basically the seed that you saw on the prior slide. And here at a very high level, we're seeing from a cacao versus a cocoa is the cacao is the natural, unprocessed pod. And if you take it without all the processing and changing basically the chemical aspect of it, it is very good for you in so many different levels in your skin, not only skin, but also in your CBCs, in your blood cells, as well as it helps with your mood because they are neurotransmitters and chemicals that actually are responsible to helping you with feeling better and making you happy. And just talking about cacao makes me happy. So cacao, just like cotton, they are major produced. They are companies and organizations and countries that export it and import it, and it is a major financial commodity. What we see here is we see a dichotomy as well as also a disparity. We see that the biggest producers are those countries around the equator, and relatively they're small, but those who consume it are very big companies. And what's something to bring up to everyone's attention here is that, for example, cacao, this Theobroma cacao was naturally found in the Americas. And then it was brought to Africa by the colonialists because of it's close to the equator and has similar environmental factors that could help increase the farming of cacao. And as we see here now, Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast is the top producer of cacao. Yet what's the most ironic part is that those farmers and in many of the other countries, they actually use kids who are not going to school to farm these cacao seeds. And they never even had an opportunity to eat chocolate themselves because it's all taken back to other countries where they process it and then they sell the chocolate. They transform the cacao into chocolate into a form that is not even economical feasible for the child who farmed it himself, who actually harvested to buy it. So here's more of a visualization of those who benefit from the cacao supply chain, and it's mostly the retailers and the manufacturers, and those who farm it don't make much of it. And also that's why it's important to, when you do buy your cocoa or cacao, that it should be from sustainable, organic ways that is minimal impact to the environment and also increase social equity to those who actually farm it and grow it. And Dove Light and I, we co-founded a social justice nonprofit called Sacred Legacy, which is part of Makalihi Council. And we collaborate with indigenous communities and wisdom keepers from all over the world to ensure the preservation of ancient knowledge, traditions, and also to ensure the legacy of it. And here are just a few examples of how this, what makes cacao versus ceremonial cacao is that ceremonial cacao is leveraging the ancient ways or the traditional ways in a very respectful, and most importantly, as you see here, it's in front of the sacred fire. So it has it at a very high esteem. And cacao in the Mayan and Aztec traditions is the food that is represented in their sacred text, and is held at a very high esteem as you see it here. And here's more information if you would like to keep in touch. And thank you so much for listening to this part of the presentation. And I pass it back to Reverend Dovelight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Letty. Ceremonial cacao provides the gentlest and most loving heart stimulant, theobrine. Theo means gods, brine, food of the gods. So we have a component similar to caffeine, but it's much more gentle in the system. Cacao also have iron, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc. But what does that mean in a spiritual level? Is the theobrine is gonna help you to stay focused, but in a gentle way. And the magnesium is gonna help your muscles to relax. So you're gonna have a beautiful balance of being present in your body, but at the same time relax. It is very important to understand that the ancient cultures, traditional indigenous culture, has passed through a lot historically, has suffered, have been persecuted, and lost their life to protect the sacredness of these medicines. And it's a miracle that we can actually have a cacao seed at this moment. So we always, when we're working with a spiritual sense with all plants, we always have this sense of gratitude in our hearts. Because it's not only that we're getting cacao, we're getting something very precious behind that for a community, for a culture, for the world. One of the cultures that has been very, very, very blessed into preserve the cacao in a ceremonial way has been the Mayan. And according to the Mayan cosmology, cacao was a gift for the gods. And in modern times, many foreign people has brought it out to local landowners and purchased cacao at extremely low prices, only to resell as ceremonial cacao, while indigenous locals are not being compensated fairly at all. Also, the recent popularity in cacao ceremonies has misconstructed and misappropriated a sacred tradition for the benefits of others. Like Sister Letty was saying, there is a dark part of children slavery involved in the cacao production in Africa, yet these kids have never seen a chocolate bar in their life. So we have to honor that we have the power to change this world by choosing how do we spend our income, our exchange. In little change take a long way. One very important thing to acknowledge about working with a plant of love is the cacao as a sacred plant, a spiritual plant, is a grounding plant. Will help you to stay grounded in your body. Cacao is not a psychedelic. You are not meant to have visions or experience to go out of your body with the plant per se. So it's very important also to be aware of where are you consuming your cacao? Where are you going? How do you resonate with the energy? Cacao is a plant of love because ancient, for many reasons, because it makes your heart happy. It releases serotonin from your brain. It's a natural antidepressant. And the ancient Mayan tradition worked with cacao to give thanks for what they had, for what they are, and what will become in the future. So there is a strong energy of gratitude around it. Just by preparing your cup of cacao, you are reconnecting to your elements, your sacred elements, as within, so without. You heat your kitchen if you're in the city, and the indigenous do it in the fire. You use the element of fire to heat up the water. The water is life. You use water to do your cacao cup. Then the cacao seed, the love from Mother Earth is coming. And the first esteem from the cup is the gift that we give to the ancestors. So that is just by conscious, the way that you do your food, the way that you do the cacao, it's very spiritual, because it's remember you to take the sacredness of something that you perhaps you forgot back to its original place, which is within you, within your actions, your thoughts. So the ancient Mayan cosmology worked with the moon calendar. The ancient elders realized that there is 10 energies that go to the other earth, to the under the earth electricity, and 10 energies who goes to the cosmos. These 10 energies are called the Nahuales, the Chumilaf, who are ruled by 13, the number 13, which represents the joints of the body. 20 energies with 13 manifestations equal 260 days, which is the average gestation period of a human being. So this is a moon calendar that is very feminine. This is about gestation, this is about growing. Today, under the Mayan cosmology, is the day Tukeme, which is the manifestation of the dead, the ancestors, the people who pass away, two being the polarity, feminine and masculine, and balance. So today, when we're working with spirituality with cacao, it's a good energy because we are supported by the energy of the cosmos and the earth to forgive our ancestors, to work with our masculine and feminine ancestral line, to give thanks for everything that they did for us to be here. Just by you staying here in front of a Zoom computer, just by you having Wi-Fi, just by you being able to sit here, it's a blessing. It's generally a blessing. So thank you so much. And we will have a cacao ceremony from 8 to 9 to heal the ancestral relationship and reconciliation. We will talk about death and grieving. In the meantime, I'm going to be there with Sister Letty in room 22. I'm also doing oracle and tarot soul readings. I can tap into the energy field of the soul of the person. So please, if you come to room 22, let us know if you're there for cacao questions or for the tarot and oracle soul reading. And see you later. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
In playroom number 1, yes, at 8 p.m.
So you weren't gonna do anything here on the main stage for any kind of blessing? You're gonna save it for the playroom?
Oh, well, I thought I only had like around 25 minutes.
Right.
But I can do a short some blessing prayer to close that talk. Is that okay with you, Sharon?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Thank you so much. So please close your eyes and one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb. If you are a male, you can also touch the Kandian area, which it will be the womb in the feminine energies. You take a deep breath. Allow yourself to take a moment to be present and to say thank you. Thank you to yourself for being here. Thank you for all your path before you. Thank you for who you are at this moment. And thank you for who you will become. Hey, 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 ya, hey, ya, oh. I am here. I am here. Great Spirit, I am here. I'm a child. I'm a man. I'm a woman, I am wise. I have cried, I have laughed, I have become who I am. I am here. This is the gift. This is the gift of my life. Yana he yo he. Yana he yo he. Todo cura, todo sana, todo tiene medicina dentro. Todo cura, llevo fuego dentro, llevo agua dentro, llevo aire dentro, llevo tierra dentro, llevo el universo dentro, llevo el corazón abierto. Again, back into your body, your beautiful gift of your body, who have a loyalty and a connection to your soul. We thank you, ancestors, feminine and masculine. And if we are ready, we ask for forgiveness for all the judgment that we did. Because even our ancestors might do things that we consider not good or not bad, but they were not God, goddess. They were only human, as we are only human. And when we're ready, we're allowed that forgiveness to take place. So we are freeing ourselves because you are the gift of your lineage at this moment. You're changing the pattern, the feel. So thank you so much for that. Maltios rukushkach, Maltios rukushule, Maltios rukushya, Maltios rukush'a, Maltios rukushiek. Thank you, Mama Cacao. Thank you to all the guardians and the keepers of the wisdom of the ancient medicine of cacao. Thank you, Nana Marina, Tata Pedro, Tata Pascual, Tata Juan, Tata Manuel, everybody. We will now be here with our guides, mentors, teachers in this world and the next. So be it. Blessings to you. And thank you for being open to receive this blessing. Please pay attention to your dreams because this transmission is going to continue in the dream time. That's something very usual that happens through the lineages that I work with. So thank you so much for that. And thank you, Sherry, for the beautiful opportunity to be in this space. I'm very grateful. Thank you all. Thank you, Letty.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Welcome, Lady Cologne. Nice to have you participate with us as well. And guys, if you want to follow her to room number 22 for any Q&A, and you can ask her any questions, and then she'll be available for some private sessions at 8 o'clock. She's going to do 1 hour in the playroom. So take advantage of some time that she has available until 8 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, whoever's available still in the room, we're going to open up the panel and she'll be back out if she's not in session. So we're also going to do a door prize. I believe you have a door prize for us. You're muted.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
Would you like to a door prize? Whether it's a half-hour session, everybody knows what to do. You put your number in the chat. I think you were offering a half-hour reading.
Oh, I think I was offering an ancestral healing. 1 hour ancestral healing to the winner. It's a full ancestral healing. It doesn't have to be today because it takes a little while to get deeper into it. But yes, definitely, I'm offering one. I'm more than grateful to help you if I can be of service. So please. We can do an hour ancestral healing. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also doing Oracle and Tarot Soul readings in room 22. And the first question around 5 minutes is free. Just let me know if you come from the Oracle or for the cacao questions. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, beautiful. So I want you to write a number on a piece of paper, and anybody who's here who hasn't won any door prize yet today, you could put a number in the chat from 0 to 100. And she's offering an ancestral healing. Awesomeness. And if there's anybody here who's practitioner, you can always work something out and do a trade. I think, Rika, you'd probably love to chat with her. Because you just came from Peru, right?
That is exactly what I was thinking. I was going, I've got my shaker from Peru. My crystals were actually buried at Machu Picchu and Bless. So yes.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to go follow her to her room because you're not, you went, oh, you're up
I'm
next.
next. I'm
You're
next.
next.
I'm not going
Okay.
anywhere. I'm right
Not
here.
going anywhere. Okay, cool. So, okay, everybody.
I wrote
So
the
guys,
number here.
okay, so I'm gonna do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't hold up your number yet. Everybody, put your number in the chat. You cannot have won a prize today. If you already won a prize, you can't do it. And ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 last chance to have a ancestral healing with her. And hold up your number. And what is the number? 7. Looks like Sue Cerrone. Sue Cerrone. Sue Cerrone, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. So Sue, go follow her to the room and
How do we do
congratulations.
that?
We'll move you. Either you can go to the bottom of your screen, hit the breakout where it says 3 dots. It has 3 dots or more. Left click with your finger and you'll see the word breakout rooms and then it'll pop up. We can move you in there. Follow her. Isn't she so cute? Oh, I should have took a screenshot of that. She's adorable. All right, so guys, thank you, Lady Cologne. You can follow her also to room number 22. Hey, Mark Becker.